you doing, my friends? Welcome to the Jovenshire's Studios review.
Jovenshire Studios.
Yeah, we've got Lasercorn here, all the way from Lasercorn Studios.
Yes, Lasercorn Industries is the name of the company.
I always get worried when Lasercorn comes over because I think he's going to hostile
take over
my channel.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure about that.
I don't like when you say we. That means that implies there's a team?
There's a team of people working on the hostile takeover.
Ninjas?
Yeah,
it's always ninjas.
Anyway, Brightburn.
Yeah, so we're doing a little review here today, and so before we get into the review, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button if you like this video. I guarantee you're gonna like the other videos that we do here. But yeah, we are gonna be reviewing a movie that did just come out on Friday. We will eventually get to some spoilers, but first we'll keep it as spoiler-free as we can. What, in your opinion, in your words, is Brightburn for those of the internet that don't know?
It's a horror movie. But instead of your typical horror monster, it's like, what if it were like an evil Superman?
Literally,
child?
That's what it is.
Superman child.
It takes the Superman origin story, it just flips it on its side, and it's like, you know, the Kents got lucky that he wanted to be a good person. It could have gone the other way, and this depicts that.
Yeah.
And you said it like it is a horror movie. Like, don't get me wrong. There are some gruesome deaths in here that even had me kind of like sitting next to him. I'm like,
yeah.
No.
I remembered, like, partway through the movie, I like remembered, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really like horror movies.
We saw the trailer for this a while ago. Yeah. And we're like, Superman, bad guy, great movie.
Yeah.
And we were super excited.
Well, the thing that got me excited is I'm like, oh dude, they have to do, I'm like, if they're doing evil Superman, I'm like, they have to do like an evil Batman, because then they can
Go for it.
Yeah, a Batman versus Superman that made sense. I had this whole idea for a Batman. I'm like, dude, what if there were like a Batman Dexter mashup in this universe?
And that's like 4 years ago, or not 4 years, like 4 months ago, you and I were talking about this, and we're like, we're sold on the movie strictly on Lasercorn's like what if idea.
Yeah.
Now I am a big fan of horror movies, and James Gunn produced this. His brothers wrote it, and there was another director that I don't actually know who the director was, but as a horror fan, staying as spoiler-free as we can, like, how'd you feel about the movie? Did you like it?
It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, I give it like a 5.5.
Okay, I give it a 7. Movie. I think that a 7. Yeah, I think it follows the traditional horror movie tropes where the first act does drag on for a little bit. I think that they do skip the origin in a good way because we get it. Superman. Fine, that's all I need to know. Yeah. It was just like building tension until it like just starts to take off and then goes, and it's like, all right, here's where we're at now. So I was kind of okay with that, but it did start off a little slow.
I was kind of hoping it would be more of a blending of the two genres instead of it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie with a different kind of monster.
You're right. It's not really an action movie. It's not a superhero movie. So if you're expecting that, it really does follow the traditional 3-act horror movie with a different monster.
So yeah, can we talk about spoilers now?
Let's see. Before we get into spoilers, he gave it a 5. I gave it a 7. I think that it is worth watching if you like horror movies, or if you just like the concept of Superman being an evil child. Yeah. Then you'll probably enjoy it. But yes. This now marks the spoiler-free zone into spoiler territory.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it, click away.
Yeah.
Click somewhere else.
Anyways.
Maybe to a Lasercorn channel.
You can do that. YouTube.com/thelasercorn.
Yeah.
He's got videos where 6 people play a video game at the same time.
All at once, and the audio is almost good.
It's great.
My problem is the problem I have with some superhero movies. He didn't fight anything. Like, you gave him these powers, and I get that it's a horror movie, but you could have blended the genres a little more. It could have been a horror movie with then like a fight with something or someone at the end. And I don't know where it would have to come from, but we got the premise of him fairly quickly. Like, he's an evil Superman. It's like, okay, he's killing people. You could introduce another character or thing, or something comes out of the spaceship or something that tries to kill him, or a second spaceship lands, or like a bounty hunter that's like, that thing's evil, or something that tries to kill him and then have an evil fight. And instead of making a horror film, you could have made maybe the first of its kind, a supervillain origin story, which I don't think has never been done. So I don't think
Joker's coming out.
What?
Yeah, Joker's not out yet.
Yeah, that's true. Joker will be the first of its kind in that.
You're so wrong, because if you get that, it turns into this other new hot mess with a whole slew of new problems where the tone is weird, the pacing is crazy. Yeah, it could have been, and I feel like the new Predator movie was that.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not try to switch up tone. Let's stick with your standard, boring, paint-by-numbers horror movie.
So I look at it in maybe a little bit more meta, where we see, this is the origin story. This is the first movie, which could, again, going back to your first hypothesis, was that wouldn't it be cool if there was a Batman version of this? Well,
yeah, at the end.
In the post-credit, or not even post-credits, in the credits, they're talking about how there's this flying alien thing that's like causing destruction everywhere, and then all of a sudden, and Michael Rooker, which was a cool little cameo, is like, and we saw this monster in the sea swimming around.
This fish man that's killing people.
And then it's
and this noose lady.
Yeah, it was a witch with nooses, and I just start hitting his leg. I'm like, oh my god, they're doing your idea, but with the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
So that would be whatever's next, whether they're all coming together, what if there is a serial killer Batman that is trying to save the day, or join them and bring them together?
Yeah, well, my thing is he's like Dexter, right? So he, instead of in the alley seeing his parents get killed, he kills his parents because he discovers that they're up to like something horrible. They're running like
not as good
like
as
a human slavery ring or something, and he kills them, and then paints it on a guy, and then he goes around killing bad people, sort of, i.e. Dexter, and then he's bored with it. He's like, man, I've killed all the bad people, and then he's like, ooh, super powered bad person. I'm back in the game. He does that. That was my thing. But they went a completely different direction in there. And they're like, what if there was an evil Justice League?
Which there's the Justice League Dark. And if this was the Justice League Dark and this was our way into it, I'd be okay with that. To your point, yes, it wasn't evolving the horror franchise to be more than like, because you're right.
But when you say you're blending genres, like the climactic fight is something from the superhero genre. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't. They didn't blend the genres. They just took one character out of the genre and they plopped it in a standard horror movie. Shaun of the Dead blends a zombie movie with a classic like buddy comedy movie with his buddy.
If you're not careful and you start to dabble in taking a third act and going over the top, things can go wrong. Though because it was a horror movie, the horror scenes, some of the deaths I thought were gruesome. The guy who loses the jaw, the sound effects, the Foley team did such a great job with that. I want the rest of the movies to happen. Like if this movie maybe cost $20 million to make, I think that's my guess. So I hope that it does more than that. It's not going to beat Endgame, I don't think, this weekend. I'd like to be wrong. As a horror fan and a superhero fan, I had fun watching it. There were some plot holes that even I had to be like, why is this happening right now? Okay. The cast was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, the acting was good.
Yeah, you had Elizabeth Banks in there, which I'm always a fan of her, and I don't know his name, and I feel bad because I just always refer to him as the other Pam boyfriend in The Office. Not Daryl, but that guy was in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was him.
I don't watch The Office a lot, but I know who you're talking about.
Cast was great, acting was good. The kid, I thought, did a great job.
Yeah, he was good.
I thought it was fun. So I give it a 7. He gives it a 5.
5 is an average movie. It's not a bad movie.
That's not, well...
It's something to do to kill some time.
We saw it on a Friday at 1 p.m.
So even slightly,
okay, even slightly better than that.
I wanted to see a blending of the genres.
Yes. So I hope that I get more excited for the next one, and I hope that you get excited. Well, as a horror movie fan, I thought it hit all the tropes really well.
It wasn't a bad... Like I said, I don't think it was a bad
Would you recommend for someone to see it?
Yes, especially if they are a horror fan.
Yeah.
If you don't like horror movies, but you're fascinated by the concept of a killer superhero, then maybe wait till it's, out of theaters and available somewhere.
Netflix or Amazon.
Netflix, yeah.
Or go see it so we can have the sequel that we want.
God, you know what I just realized, and they didn't show it in the movie, but God, the most horrifying one would have to be Evil Killer Flash. It stabs you like a million times.
It's like, hey, yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh my God! you just see it like a red blur, and then like you're spouting blood everywhere. No, that was so fast.
Jesus. Do you think we'll get the individual movies, or do you think we'll just go into?
I don't think we need individual movies.
Just go into the bigger thing.
Horrorverse.
There you go. So that were our thoughts and opinions on a movie that we saw at 1 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. And it was very lovely.
We don't have real jobs.
We don't, and that's one of the perks to it. Yeah. So let us know if you'd like us to do other reviews like this, or go over to youtube.com.
YouTube.com/Lasercorn.
There you go, that thing.
A channel so powerful, Joven can't even speak its
Can't
name.
even speak. It's an evil that you don't speak aloud, or it'll take over your company.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching, guys. I got a link to his channel down below. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments. Let's talk about it. And until the next time, I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.